This is Blunt Talk, your source for good inspirational news only. With your host, Gino Arcaro.
Be more or be less? It's your biggest decision today. In his book, Soul of a Lifter, Gino inspires you to make the right decision. Compete on the only stage that really matters, real life. Purchase Soul of a Lifter today at Amazon.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Blunt Talk Podcast. We're broadcasting today from the third floor of my gym, X Fitness, Welland, Ontario, Canada. X Fitness is committed to lift in mind, body, and soul, and to the celebration of good inspirational news only. There's enough depressing news in the world. We will not contribute to it. Today's podcast is a blast. A shorter 5-minute version with a motivational speech, a top 1,000 workout song of the day, and no guest. Here's real life lesson number 7,074 that I've taught football players for 40 years and college law enforcement students for 2 decades. Ordinary motivation is not enough. I've worked for over 4 decades in ultra competitive fields. Policing, college teaching, football coaching, strength coaching, and business. Each one has a professional Darwinism that will devour you. Each one has a professional Darwinism, a natural selection process that will cut you from contention and potentially cut you up in mind, body, and soul unless you defend yourself. Ordinary motivation is not enough to defend yourself. Motivation is one of the most misused words in the English language. Ordinary motivation is not what you think it is. Ordinary motivation is not what conventional thinking has led you to believe it is. Ordinary motivation is a temporary emotional charge that makes you feel good for a few seconds or maybe a few minutes. Motivation is entertainment that breaks the boredom and monotony of routine daily life. But ordinary motivation is not enough to compete and win on any field or in any field. Ordinary motivation will make you ordinary. Ordinary motivation will not get you hired in the dream job that hundreds of people want just as bad as you do. Ordinary motivation won't make your business survive. Ordinary motivation won't win championship rings. Ordinary motivation won't get you on the honor roll. Ordinary motivation will never get you in peak shape. Ordinary motivation will not make you lift more weight than you did yesterday. Ordinary motivation will not help you lift more souls than you did yesterday. The key element to extraordinary motivation is the inner compulsion to progress. Your inner compulsion to progress is a force of nature and nurture that will drive you when everyone else is too tired, too busy, and too weak to do anything but sit around, scroll, post, and party. Your inner compulsion to progress will separate you from the rest. Dual meaning. The wannabes who want the same thing you want and the downtime that drags the wannabes down into their hell of underachieving. Here's the bad news. Your inner compulsion to progress has to be built, has to be developed. Your inner compulsion to progress has to be worked out. The solution is a coach or a mentor who will not reward your weaknesses and your excuses and who will go beyond ordinary motivation. The inner compulsion to progress is a topic in every book I've written and every book I will ever write, because nothing is more important to compete and nothing is more complicated to repeat. Top 1,000 workout song of the day, Hell's Bells by AC/DC. It's a masterpiece, released in 1980, year 11 of my 48-year workout streak. I visit my past every single workout to connect with my youth. Instead of getting depressed about getting old, I press weight. Nothing will keep you young like lifting both weights and souls. Every workout connects the past, the present, and the future. Every workout connects what was, what is, what will be. My inner compulsion to progress is the number one reason for my 48-year workout streak. My inner compulsion to progress solves all the conventional problems that makes you grow out of shape and grow old. Excuses, complacency, and apathy that makes you sit still and stand still. I've worked out with lifting teams for 42 years, 40 years with football players, and now with my women's lifting team. No one ever has outworked or worked harder than my teams, and no one ever will. That's my pledge. Hell's Bells, $1.29 on iTunes, guaranteed to lift. Thank you to our worldwide audience. Much love, blessings, and all good things. Peace.
Tune in tomorrow for another 5-minute podcast blast and more excerpts from Soul of a Lifter by Gino Arcaro.